Hi, and welcome to the Authors Lighthouse podcast, helping writers and emerging authors navigate the choppy waters of publishing. I'm your host, Karen Schober, indie author and author consultant. Hello, and welcome back. It's the first of the year when this goes live, and like so many others, I find the first of the year one of my favorites. Not because it's freezing cold or the busy holiday season, but because of the newness of it, the blank slate that the new year brings to me, much like how I enjoy starting a new notebook or the beginning of a semester. The new year is a way to make a fresh start, and that is exactly what I am doing this year, while keeping the momentum going from last year as well. Unlike other episodes, this show is going to be a recap of 2022 and what I'm looking forward to in 2023. I do this on paper, but I'm taking a page out of Joanna Penn's podcast and many others to do just the same thing. So, what did 2022 bring me? There were many ups and downs, but the pile of good things was much bigger than the pile of bad things. First of all, my middle child moved 1,000 miles away. This was a first for me. I had two kids that left for college. One came back, and the other moved to Florida. To be honest, I hated the idea since they would be so far away, and I didn't know who they were moving in with. I had yet to meet the boyfriend at this time. But I put my faith in my kiddo that they were making the right choice and let them know I would still be there for them. All they needed to do was ask. Letting go and having faith in my kiddo was hard, but seeing them happy with their choice to move made it easier. I have met the boyfriend, and he is a lovely person, so that helped my anxiety as well. I am proud of my child for making the changes to make them happy as they are navigating the adult world like the rest of us. I hope to visit them soon and see the world that they have built for themselves. I published my novella, Chemical Attraction. Its ebook is wide, meaning Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Google, many online retailers, but the print is only on Amazon right now. I may go wide on that. I haven't decided yet. Luckily, nothing is permanent. It was a long time coming to get it done, and it was all in my head. Getting back into the writer's mindset was really hard for me. Not only the lack of time, but the lack of confidence really stalled me for a long, long while. But I did it, and I got it up, and now I'm recording the ebook for that, which will be up in a few weeks' time. On a personal note, well, this has all been personal, I got a new job. This one is a little good and a little bad. I left my employer that I was with for over 6 years in February. At first, I loved that job, but when COVID hit, everything changed, and I was moved from an office job to a manufacturing position. Anyone who knows me knows I would rather be in front of a computer for 8 hours than on a production floor. My coworkers were lovely, and I learned a lot about myself. But the job I ended up doing was mind-numbing, and I had to get out of there. So I took a position selling new cars. Whew, what an experience that was. The car part was really cool, and I loved learning about all the new tech, and the electrical vehicles were amazing. It was like riding in a rocket ship at times. I made some really great friendships with some of the other salespeople, but I hate to say that the stereotypes of most car sales are true. There's so much negativity in the air, and it was toxic, almost hostile at times. Selling cars is both very easy and the hardest thing I have ever done. The hours were long, and I was away from home too much. It got in the way of my creativity and home time. So it was time for a change. In the few weeks since we parted ways, I have been the happiest I have ever been, and I have made more progress on all my projects than ever since. Another thing that happened in 2022 was I got married. Yes, I got married this spring. It was a wonderful day to celebrate with my family and friends, and I got to marry the man of my dreams. We are still over the moon that we are married and plan to keep it that way. I feel I am very lucky to have found a true partner. I've never been this happy before, and it keeps getting better and better every day. And we still need to pick our photo pictures. One thing we like to do is we like to go to concerts. We only got to one this year, but it was perfect. It was on the waterfront theater nearby, and the weather was amazing. If we had been there a week before or after, it would have been hot and sticky and miserable. But there was a lovely breeze coming off the river, and the temperature was perfect for this outdoor concert. I was concerned about being in a large crowd again after COVID, but the air was fresh and the vibes were fun. I even saw Santa there. I'll post the pictures in Instagram for you to see. We only got to see a few songs of the first set, Loverboy, but we caught the full sets of both REO Speedwagon and Styx. Yes, these are old groups, and some of the musicians were in their 70s, but you could see that they were loving what they were doing, creating music and entertaining people. They sounded great too. I want to have that much pleasure with what I'm doing with my life at that age, or any age at that point. So early fall, I caught COVID. Yay. I went all this time without getting it. We had a small outbreak at the car dealership, and I was the tail end of it. For a week, I was sick and a cough that lingered for months. I didn't leave the bed for days, but I could binge watch TV shows, so that was at least a plus. I am sad to say that my husband caught it from me, but no one else did. We were lucky, and it just kicked our butts for a week, and that was as bad as it got. My coworkers was in the hospital and out of work for weeks. Both of us are triple vaxxed, and that was our choice. I feel it kept us from getting sicker than we were, and that's my opinion. This is not a debate topic, but just a summary of the year. One thing that really came out of this was I was shocked how it shut down my ability to read and the brain fog that lingered for a long while. While I was my sickest, reading a Facebook post was too much for me. As my body recovered, it was still challenged to read and comprehend like I did pre-COVID. I found that I took some supplements that seemed to help so I could finish up school and other projects as well. After COVID, we went to New York City. We went to New York for my cousin's wedding. I'm so happy for my cousin and her new husband. We stayed at this cool little hotel in Flushing's Chinatown the night before. It was just a fun little getaway, just over 24 hours. But it was just great to get out of the house and get away for a few days. We raced ahead of the tail end of a hurricane that was running up the coast and got there before the rain hit. Dinner was at a cute little Cajun seafood place where I had crawfish in this amazing garlic brown sauce. I haven't had boiled crawfish in probably 25 years, and they were amazing. The garlic sauce had a ton of garlic in it. It was so good I could have drunk the sauce solo. I'll post pics of that too. The got done list. This was one of my most productive hacks I've ever discovered. Years ago, I heard about someone making lists of things that they had done during the day. It could be simple things like laundry or bringing down the Christmas lights from the attic, or something big like publishing a book. I know I talked about this in a previous episode, but it is something that has really helped me keep my motivation and get stuff done. Not only do I get the satisfaction of creating my to-do list, but also from checking things off and making that done list. I plan on continuing this practice as time moves forward. It's really, really helped. The Germans. This summer, my youngest child spent a month in Germany. He did a tour with school and then spent a few weeks with a German family and went to school over there. Mid-fall, the Germans that the students stayed with came over to stay with us for a few weeks. It was a wonderful experience, and my son's exchange partner was perfectly matched for both him and the family. I love that she wanted to come to the grocery store with me, and instead of the mall, both my child and the exchange student opted to go to the bookstore. Oh, my heart. It was a wonderful experience, and it was sad to see her go back home, and I hope we get to see her again. And here's the big one. I finished school. As I've said earlier, I was in school. I was in an MBA program focusing on marketing. Yes, I got my MBA. I used to learn more about marketing and business for my writing and publishing career. It was time well spent, and I learned so much, and I learned that I have a lot more still to learn. I'll get my diploma in a few weeks, and the graduation ceremony will be in October. Yep, I'll be attending. I love ceremonies, and this one is just as important as any other graduation ceremony, no matter how long they end up being. My last assignment was handed in before Christmas, and I'm still floating on air that I am done. I'm not sure if I'll go back and get my PhD or not. I'd love to, but I need to take a breath before making that decision. So things I've learned this year. Canva. I am still loving this program, and it is handy for making videos as well. I haven't started using the AI writing that they are offering yet, but I'm sure I'll get there soon. Of course, Canva is the sponsor of the show, so check the show notes for a link to sign up. It's really handy, very easy to use. I cannot say enough of it. I'm using it practically every day. Beginner's TikTok. What a rabbit hole I can go down in the name of research. It has been interesting learning how this social media platform works, and even more fun to see the responses to my videos. Anyone interested in following me right now, check out Karen Schober, but there are other channels that I'll be working on coming in the near future. Bread. Who doesn't love bread? This is something I find for fun. I have dipped into making bread. I've been giving away loaves just so I can make more. Otherwise, all I would eat is bread. Not that that's a big deal, but it's been fun, and the house smells so great as the loaf is getting close to being ready to come out of the oven. Perfect for those chilly winter days. And the last lesson I learned this year was to give myself permission to rest. It's easy to just push through to get everything we think we need to get done, or that we feel guilty for taking some time for ourselves and just do nothing. I am still working on this, but telling myself that I don't need to constantly be doing something is okay, and it's actually good for me. I'm trying to not do any work on Sundays, but I'm sure there's a few things that will slip through, like doing a little extra marketing for Chemical Attraction or the upcoming release of Hollywood Hearts. And that is a quick summary of my 2022. What did you do? In the comments, please post something that you are either proud of, or an accomplishment, or a challenge that you faced this year.
It helps users create stunning and intuitive designs that can be used for social media posts, website graphics, and even printed materials. Users can do anything from graphic designs to video editing. To check it out and get your own free account, go to partner.canva.com/AHL and start designing right away.
What does 2023 hold? Great things, I hope. First, I'm looking forward to doing more of this show and my involvement in the indie publishing world. I look forward to creating and leading discussions in both the craft of writing and the business of publishing. There are plans for the future of the show, but those details are still being worked out. Of course, if listeners have suggestions, I am always appreciative of hearing what you have to say, and those can be sent directly to me at Karen@theauthorslighthouse.com. The website's also being worked on, so that is going to be updated as well. So, new projects. We always love new projects. I have a new podcast that is being worked on. It's called Aliens and Mole People, the podcast. This one is focused on weird stories and urban legends like the Jersey Devil. Anything that's weird and goes bump in the night, and even better, finding out more about their origin stories. It's still in the early stages, but it has been fun to work on it and do the research, that's been interesting. I do have a couple other projects of the like that are in various developmental stages. One is a podcast with my dad, where he tells the stories about his life. And boy, does he have some good ones. Oh my goodness, I cannot wait to do this. It will be fun to work with him and capture these stories forever. I would love to dive into doing fiction in audio form, as well as some other ideas. I do have some ideas for that, but that's really in its infancy. But it would be something I would like to dive into. Audio is a new medium for me to tell stories, so this will be a good challenge for me. So publishing. Earlier, I had mentioned my book, Chemical Attraction, that is currently on sale on all ebook platforms, but I am going to be launching another book called Hollywood Hearts, the Second Act, and that will be launching this year on February 14th. The ebook is up for pre-sale on all online retailers, and the print version will be coming soon after I get the proof copies on that. Hollywood Hearts, the Second Act, is an edited version of my book, Second Chances, A New Star. I published that years ago and wanted to get an updated version out there. Plus, it needed some work to turn it into a series. In October, I will do the same thing with my hockey romance book, Fire and Ice. But now it's the Fire and Ice series, and the first book has been retitled to Body Check, Heart Check. At least that's what the name is right now. Anything can happen between now and October. For the same reason for Hollywood Hearts, Fire and Ice will go under some re-editing to update it and to lead it into the rest of the series. Additionally, I am working on a prequel short story for Body Check, Heart Check as a lead-in for my mailing list. It's a nice little story of how two of the other characters from Fire and Ice fell in love and adapted to life in professional hockey. Audiobooks. I have recorded Chemical Attraction into an audiobook, and now I'm working on recording Hollywood Hearts, the Second Act. I have to say that the process has been a great way to do final edits on the book. No major rewrites, but it's amazing what gets caught when you read it out loud. And I have read it to myself and had the computer read it to me before I formatted it. But it just didn't come out right when I read it for the audiobook. So it just needs some minor tweaks, nothing major. It's easy to update the ebook and print files, and then I'll upload those to the online retailers. Nothing major, just a couple little words here and there. But now I realize that this is a necessary part of the publishing process for me before I upload the files to the online retailers in the first place. So I also plan on writing more books and reading more books. I think this goes without saying, but I look forward to stretching my creative muscles with future books and articles. Now that I'm done with school, at least for now, I want to read more for fun. I fell out of the habit, and it's one I want to pick up again. So much that I will be keeping a list of books that I've read this year to see how many I have finished. I'm going to do the same with new to me movies as well. At the end of the year, it will be a fun way to look back and see what I've done. So what do I want to learn this year? Of course, more social media marketing. We all know that social media is a changing beast, and you need to stay on top of trends and where the audiences are hanging out. I hope you will follow me on social media, and I want to create quality content for those who choose to follow me. Currently, I am on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. The show is also on YouTube, but that's more of a distribution than new content for the platform, at least for now. I'd like to do more networking with others using social media that use social media as their marketing. I'm not sure if that's going to be in a conference forum or a workshop, but it will be interesting to talk with other professionals in the industry and put that brand new degree to use. So, big thing is better use of time management and organization. This one I think almost anyone can get behind. We only have so much time, and with everything I want to accomplish, knowing that I am using my time efficiently will be very important. Overscheduling my days leads to disappointment and not getting the work done. I also strive to have a balanced home-work life and also work hard without burnout so I can keep going. I'm sure this will be always a big struggle for me, but one I know it will pay off in the long run as I learn these better skills and constantly tweak the way I work and how I work. And for fun, I want to learn guitar. I decided that I'm going to learn. We happen to have a few lying around the house and even a ukulele too. And it's time for me to learn. I have played several instruments over the years and I do miss it. Since I have these instruments in the house and there are endless free lessons thanks to YouTube, I figure why the heck not? I miss playing and making music and being creative in other ways. Now that I have an office guest room, I can shut the door and pretend that no one can hear me, like I did in high school when I practiced the saxophone. Too bad the dog did hear me and would sing along for my parents to hear. It's better for my family's ears than maybe taking up the drums. Wow, what a year in review and the plans for the future. I'm excited to see what the future holds and what the next months and years will bring. The past few years have been crazy and unpredictable, but I always see the beginning of the year like a new book full of potential and surprises along the way. I'd love to hear about other people's plans for the new year. It can be inspiring. In the comments or on social media, tell me your plans for 2023. Big plans, small plans, all plans. Nothing is too little to be important. And let's be optimistic about the new year to come. I look forward to talking with you guys next week and have a great 2023. Happy New Year!
This was The Author's Lighthouse, a Fireball Studio production. Please follow us on Facebook and Instagram at The Author's Lighthouse. And if you like the show, leave us a 5-star review on your podcast platform. It really helps get the show discovered. And also don't forget to subscribe. If you have a topic you would like to suggest for a future episode, email it to Karen@theauthorslighthouse.com. If you liked this episode and want to hear more, please support the show at patreon.com/authorslighthouse. That's patreon.com/authorslighthouse. Every bit helps support the show. This was The Author's Lighthouse, a Fireball Studio production. Please follow us on Facebook and Instagram at The Author's Lighthouse and on Twitter at AuthorsLH. And if you like the show, subscribe and leave us 5-star review on your favorite podcast platform. It really helps get the show discovered. If you have a topic you would like to suggest for a future episode, email it to Karen@theauthorslighthouse.com. That's KAREN @theauthorslighthouse.com. And if you really like this story and want to help more, please support the show at patreon.com/authorslighthouse. That's patreon.com/authorslighthouse. Every little bit helps support the show, and thank you.